The National Sports Festival of Japan is the national premier sports event of Japan. It consists of 3 stages. The skating and ice hockey stage takes place in January, the skiing stage takes place in February, and the main autumn tournament takes place in September and October. Its name is often abbreviated to Kokutai. Outline. The predecessor to the tournament was the Meiji Shrine Tournament held from 1924 until 1943, a period including the Pacific War. Since then there was a summer tournament that focused on swimming, and an autumn tournament that focused on track and field. However, from the 61st tournament in 2006, the summer and autumn tournaments were combined. On the 20th of December 2006, the Japan Sports Association, as the committee for the tournament, decided that swimming was to be held before mid-September as of and beyond the 64th tournament in 2009, though this actually came into effect in the 63rd tournament in 2008. This took into account the peculiar qualities of holding swimming events. Also, the golf tournament was moved forward in the schedule. The previous summer and autumn tournaments have fundamentally been held across one prefecture. The 2 winter tournaments also take place in the same prefecture, making up the entire tournament. It is often the case when a tournament is held in colder areas such as Hokkaido, Tohoku, Koshinetsu and Hokuriku, that both autumn tournaments are held in the same prefecture. It is very rare that the skating and ice hockey tournaments are held in separate areas. For the 56th tournament in 2001, the National Sports Festival for People with Disabilities was also held. At the skating and ice hockey tournaments includes figure skating, speed skating, short track speed skating, and ice hockey. The skiing tournament includes giant slalom, ski jump, Nordic combined, cross-country skiing, and mogul skiing. The autumn tournament consists of swimming, water polo, bowling, football, track and field, judo, kendo, fencing, wrestling, mountaineering, volleyball, basketball, softball, baseball. When the summer and autumn tournaments were held separately, swimming, water polo, bowling and football were held in the summer season. In addition, from the 43rd tournament in 1988, an exhibition sports event was also held. It is an event for people to represent the prefectures they live, work or study in, and involves various active community sports. During the tournament, the official rankings change in accordance with the number of points earned, with the final result being the sum of all 4 tournaments. The top placing prefecture for both men and women is awarded the Emperor's Cup. The top prefecture for just the women's score is awarded the Empress's Cup. At first, the summer and autumn tournaments were planned to always be held in Kansai, but after the first tournament in 1946, Ishikawa Prefecture were presented the opportunity to host the second tournament. The host prefecture was then rotated throughout Japan. Entry qualifications and age classifications. Entry qualifications differ depending on event, but as a general rule participants must be older than the 3rd year of junior high school. 3rd-year junior high schoolers have been allowed to participate since the 43rd tournament in 1988. Age classification also differs depending on event, but here are the general rules for swimming and track and field events. Other events follow similar guidelines. Youth B, born between the 2nd of April 16 years prior to, and the 1st of April 14 years prior to the start of the tournament, 3rd year junior high school, and 1st year high school students. Youth A, born between the 2nd of April 18 years prior to, and the 1st of April 16 years prior to the start of the tournament, 2nd and 3rd year high school students. Adults, born before the 1st of April 18 years prior to the start of the tournament. At one time there was a separate classification for teaching staff in addition to adults. In track and field there remains an agreement which states that there must be at least one member of teaching staff, or the team's participation will be invalid. Even now, in preparation for the tournament, prefectures will increase recruitment of teaching staff and reduce it after the event. Hiromi Taniguchi, once aiming for a career in teaching after graduation from university, was unable to take a position due to small vacancy numbers in the immediate aftermath of the Miyazaki event. Also, following the end of the teaching staff classification, an independent national sports tournament came into existence. Up until the 59th tournament in 2004, adults could represent the prefecture in which they lived or worked. However, the following year marked the start of a hometown athlete system of registration. This meant that participants could represent areas where they had graduated from junior high and high school. Thereafter there was an increase in the number of well-known hometown athletes, mainly focused around individual events. From 2011, regulations were revised to allow for participants who were based outside Japan to represent their hometowns. Kosuke Kitajima, who is based in the United States of America, represented Tokyo in the 68th tournament in 2013. In 2005, action was taken to include the participation of professional athletes under the How to Do It From Now project. As a result, a selection of professional athletes have appeared at tournaments since then. However, as a condition, in sports which are not governed by the Japan Professional Sports Association, judgment over participation is entrusted to each sports governing body. As for athletes not holding Japanese citizenship, students enrolled in schools under Article 1 of the School Education Law may be eligible to participate. From 2006, foreigners who have permanent residency became eligible to participate. Tournament logo. The logo was created for the second tournament in 1947. The logo is a red torch leaning at a 30-degree incline to the right, wrapped in a blue obi. Opening ceremony. Ever since the second tournament in 1947, the song Young Power, written by Takao Seki and composed by Shinichi Takada, has been played at the opening and closing ceremonies of all large-scale sporting events. Furthermore, it is played at an opening ceremony in which the Emperor and Empress are both in attendance. At the autumn tournament there is a torch relay following which a main torch is lit and burns until the closing ceremony. Previously there was also an opening ceremony at the winter tournament, but in line with changes to the tournament from 2010 it was changed to a smaller and simpler starting ceremony. The torch, which is based on the Olympic flame, was first introduced at the 5th tournament in 1950, and the torch relay at the 12th tournament in 1957. For the third tournament in 1948 a relay event had been held, though this was to carry the tournament's official flag, though this only remained until the 27th tournament in 1972. Afterwards, only the torch relay took place. Scoring and awards. Points are awarded depending on the outcome of each individual event, with the sum of these points being the method of competing for the Emperors and Empresses Cups. 10 points are given for participation in each game in the tournament. Points are not awarded for participation in a block tournament if the entrant was eligible to participate in the main tournament. In the 64th tournament, the maximum number of participation points available was set set at 400 points. The number of points awarded for victories differs depending on the event, as well as the two main trophies. Each event awards trophies and certificates to victorious athletes. Criticism and problems. Host victory principle. Ever since the 1964 tournament in Niigata, the host team winning the Emperor's Cup and Empress's Cup has generally become the norm. This is not simply down to the team's preliminary scores, but by a number of factors including the ability to field athletes in every competition and the ability to strengthen athletes with the funding going into newly institutions such as venues and event management. In fact, Nobu Nishimura, the lieutenant governor of Yamaguchi Prefecture which hosted the 2011 tournament, said at a party, "The hosts have an advantage in events with flagmen, and even if there's cheating, they will take first place." When he was criticized, he explained his position by saying, "I meant the tendency where host prefectures have an advantage, not that it's okay to break the rules." In a move counter to this custom, as a result of then Kochi Prefecture Governor Daijiro Hashimoto abolishing it at the 2002 Kochi-hosted tournament, host Prefecture Kochi finished in 10th place with Tokyo winning overall. However, this is the only time such an occasion has occurred. Large-scale arena constructions. Recently many host prefectures have built large-scale venues in which to host various events, with a large focus on appearance. Examples include Nagai Stadium, Miyagi Stadium, Oita Bank Dome, Tohoku Electric Power Big Swan Stadium, Shizuoka Stadium and International Stadium Yokohama. These were generally acknowledged as being built for the 2002 FIFA World Cup, but in reality the construction purpose was to be the main arena of the tournaments. The aforementioned arenas are also sometimes used as a base for J-League football teams based within the prefecture, but other arenas are not used very often following the tournament, in spite of no large-scale events being anticipated as taking place there following the tournament. Large amounts of taxpayer money continues to go toward its maintenance. Tournament history. Predecessor. Before the war, there was a tournament called the Meiji Shrine Tournament that was held from 1924 to 1943. It had no winter tournament and was held in each area of Kanto, as a general rule commencing in the outer garden of the Meiji Shrine. Formation. On the 26th of December 1945 at the Kishi Memorial Gymnasium, Raizo Hiranuma, Izutaro Suhiro, Sanburo Kiyas, Tatsuo Hisatomi and Keijiro Ishida, who had all held important sporting administrative positions since before the war, proposed holding a national athletics event during talks about how sporting events could take place in the post-war period. In 1946, the group had informal talks with Hiromu Kashiga, the chairman of the Kansai Sports Federation, and formed a board of directors. After having the proposal examined and approval gained from GHQ, they received 400,000 yen from the government to help with costs, and the first tournament was held. Tournament history. Awarding the Emperor's Cup and Empress's Cup has depend on the prefecture. In the first, second, and the special tournament in 1973, neither were awarded. In the 6th, 7th and 8th tournaments, the winter tournament was split from the summer and autumn tournament. In the 9th tournament, it was divided further by separating the swimming tournament. Any prefecture that was able to host the winter, summer and autumn tournaments have a mark at the start of the tournament names. The tournament names are generally a reference to the autumn tournament. It is possible that the winter tournaments had a different name, especially if they were held elsewhere. Tournaments in blue show where the host did not win the Emperor's Cup. Commemorative items. With the exception of the first tournament, commemorative stamps have generally been issued for the autumn tournament. For the 2nd to 5th tournaments, 4 types of stamp were issued. For the 6th to the 21st tournaments, there were 2 types of stamp issued, and ever since then there has been 1 type of stamp released for each tournament. The region's railway company also issues commemorative items such as train tickets. Mascot characters. Each tournament normally has a unique mascot character to help build support and encourage good PR. The first mascot was a nameless goat for the 30th tournament in Mie Prefecture, though it was referred to as Pet Mark. In the 38th tournament, hosted in Gunma in 1983, the first named character, a horse called Gunma-chan, was used. From then on, having a named character became the norm. There were no characters from the 31st to the 37th tournaments. Recently, owing to the Uruchara boom, mascot characters commonly become official mascots of the prefecture in some capacity. There are many mascots who were already established as prefectural mascots prior to the tournament itself. National Sports Festival of Japan official mascots. Ceremonial music. At the opening and closing ceremonies, the ceremonial music used is produced for each tournament, with it being performed when the torch and athletes enter the arena. In addition to this, it is often the case where a singer with a strong local connection will sing, along with songs which match the theme of the tournament. Television broadcasts. Generally there is a daily broadcast throughout the tournament from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. on NHK Educational TV, giving information about 1 or 2 events of that day. Also, the opening ceremony is broadcast on NHK General TV, on days in which there are competitive events rather than the opening and closing ceremonies. The prefecture's television studios and equipment are used. Also, announcers from those stations take the host role, explaining events as the tournament progresses. The general broadcast format follows a simple flow. The outline summary of that day's main games, as well as introducing key athletes. A broadcast from the main sport venue of that day. A broadcast from the studio giving results of other events and other topics. Events. Events in bold have taken place since the first tournament. Skiing, giant slalom, special jump, cross-country skiing, Nordic combined, mogul skiing, snowboarding, biathlon, skating, speed skating, short track, speed skating, figure skating, ice hockey, softball, football, track and field, swimming, swimming races, diving, synchronized swimming, water polo, tennis, rowing, field hockey, boxing, volleyball, gymnastics, basketball, wrestling, sailing, weightlifting, handball, cycling, soft tennis, table tennis, sumo wrestling, equestrianism, fencing, judo, badminton, kudo, rifle shooting, kendo, rugby, mountaineering, canoeing, archery, karate, ju-kendo, clay pigeon shooting, naginata, bowling, golf, high school baseball, beach volleyball, triathlon. Previous events: American football, first tournament only; touch football, second tournament only; corporate baseball, first 3 tournaments only; Shinai-kyogi, exhibition sporting events. There are normally around 20 exhibition events held at the autumn tournament. The trend is to hold events that make the best use of local features. Indica, orienteering, aerobics, supersession, recreational dance, Houston safety blow gun, recreational table tennis, hang gliding, paragliding, ESCI tennis, soft volleyball, target bird golf, sports chanbara, walking, futsal, sea kayak, gate ball, wushu, ground golf, tug of war, mini softball, mini tennis, folk dance, duathlon, kinball, t-ball, mini volleyball, Cayman golf, mallet golf, curling, dodgeball, tasboni, cycling, wakeboarding, petang, billiards, skateboarding, roller sports, bound tennis, paddle tennis, beach football, beach ball volleyball, surfing, senior softball, neo-tennis, powerlifting, darts, BMX, trampobics, Taido, Spolis, floorball, radio calisthenics, rhythmic gymnastics, 3B gymnastics, triathlon, 5 kilometers and 10 kilometers jogging marathons, protected karate, boys and girls sports, dodgeball, softball, football, handball, disabled sports, blind football, power chair football, disabled softball, disabled golf, winter snowboarding, freestyle skiing, curling. Future tournaments from the 2013 tournament in Tokyo, softball, naginata, jukendo and the triathlon will take place biannually. There are debates underway regarding the implementation of women's events for sports in which there is a women's counterpart in the Olympics. Women's events have been added for judo and football. There are plans for a 7-a-side women's rugby event, as well as a movement to change women's cycling and wrestling, which are currently exhibition events, into full tournament events. Regarding youth sections, there have been motions to place upper limits on the number of participants due to overcrowding. Extras. If a full-time company employee takes part in a tournament as a player, coach, referee, judge, official, etc., they might qualify for special leave. In the case of team sports, where it comes to team selections, it has been known for champion teams to go unchanged in subsequent tournaments. That is a matter for the sports governing body in each prefecture to determine.